fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
It's sick, actually.
They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seeds as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Oh no. I feel like shit, hey. But anyway, I'm here, that's the main thing, okay? I'm detoxing, I believe, at the moment. Okay? That's the reason I don't feel well, is because when you start treating yourself, all the toxins seem to come out, and they're coming out in weird ways. But anyway, here we are. So I've just gone through and searched for, I should say hello first, shouldn't I? Hey, Alex, how you going? Hey, Deb, J1, Shannon. Who else have we got in here? Carl, where have you been? Yeah, where have you been? Lucette, how you going? George, how you going? Paul, how you going? Good to see you guys. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just detoxing, and it's just a bit of a, I don't know, it's kind of, the only way I can describe this is like 20 years of illness reversing in what, a month, 2 weeks? I don't know. So everything's kind of feeling a bit weird right now. It's okay, I'm weird. Okay, what I've done is just gone through the search for you, trending, okay? We've got the search first. We'll just have a look at this first. Apparently, press secretary said, my first reaction when seeing former President Biden was speaking tonight was, I'm shocked that he's speaking at night time. Is he okay again? Because they did say this would happen. That he was acting like he had dementia at the end there. I understand the topic of his speech is Social Security. Let me make it very clear. POTUS is absolutely certain about protecting Social Security. He will always protect that program. Look, what they're worried about here, I believe myself personally, it is, what do I believe? Oh, yeah. No, the people that are over 140 years old and the 6 months old getting Social Security. You know, things like that. That's what they're worried about themselves. Okay? President Biden's probably profiting from it somehow. Or some Democrats are, so he's speaking up. He's the one who has to speak up. Anthony Albanese will never, even though he's declaring, in case you missed it, Labor will build 100,000 new homes just for first home buyers. Yeah, I don't believe that, mate. Labor has zero credibility on housing, and this is from the Liberal Party. That was the Labor Party. Okay, this is why people don't trust Labor anymore. Let's have a look at this. I'm interested to see what they're going to say. Shit.
340 homes are complete, and as these have been acquired and converted into social and affordable housing.
So did you just say acquired and converted?
Yeah.
Yes, that's my understanding.
It's not building.
What does that mean?
Well, yeah, no, you go.
I was just going to pass to my team on that one.
How many of them were actually built?
The figure that you're referring
They've
to
all
there.
been built.
Oh, so 340 you said were acquired. Were they acquired or were they built? It's a different thing.
Yeah, they weren't built.
Well, they all had to be built to be acquired.
I know that, but did the Housing Australia Future Fund build them or acquire them?
Well, the Housing Australia Future Fund doesn't build.
How many of the 340 were built and how many were acquired?
Well, we'll see if we can provide you with that answer.
We can't afford. I can tell you right now that none of them were built. Okay? I can tell you right now, none of them were built. Okay, they were all acquired. And that's what she said. I don't know whether to like that or not. Like, it is the Liberal Party, you know. Hey, I don't know. Okay, what do we got? Unusual Wales said, breaking Donald Trump right now. We may want countries to choose between us or China. Oh, go. Australia's going to become American state. Australia's going to become an American state. We better choose the US and not China. Actually, I heard China's going bust right now. You know what I was watching the last few days to try and cheer me up? Temu fails. That's got to be the funniest thing I've ever seen. Hey, after this, go and search on YouTube for Temu fails, right? That's some funny shit right there. Okay, anyway, I believe China are collapsing. This is what I'm hearing. I don't know. Yeah, Temu's a freaking rip-off, man. Half their shit isn't what's described. People thought they were buying little models of things, right? Now, I did this once, never again, okay? I actually bought from Temu, okay? I'm embarrassed to say that. I did. And I bought what I thought was a statue, which is what a lot of people are doing. But they're like, they're either like cardboard or plastic. They're not, and they're just a thin line. Like, they're not a statue. They're a picture of something. They think they're buying, okay, people who bought lounges from Temu. Sorry, guys, but I just have to tell you this. People who bought lounges from Temu, yeah, they only go in a dollhouse, mate. Yeah, they're not a proper lounge. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I think that we are going to end up being part of the United States, okay? And I hope so. Oh, my God. I don't want to be part of China. No. Okay, what's Alexandria Occasional Cortex going on about? Why go to Idaho? Because people here matter. A capacity crowd in Nampa, Idaho, making the arena shake for AOC. Why are they booing her? Yeah, this is not news for me, okay? I don't think they know me. Okay, Nick Sautor said, breaking. Carolyn Levitt just announced President Trump will be signing an order barring illegals from obtaining any Social Security benefits. This order will also launch expanded investigations into Social Security recipients over 100 years old with mismatched numbers. Medicare and Medicaid fraud. We need arrests. We do. When is it going to happen? Okay, my brain is just mush at the moment. I just want to know when it's going to happen. Okay. The Australian Electoral Commission here says the use of pencils to complete ballot papers in the federal election continues to be the subject of some odd incorrect assertions on this platform. So here's a thread about that subject. Why not just use pen? Alex James said, why did the AEC just release a long thread defending the use of pencils? Because they can be erased, okay, and redone. Yeah, I rigged the election, exactly. Given the security involved in the counting process, the level of transparency and the sheer number of people in election counts is simply not feasible. Are you sure about that? Why don't you just make it pen and then we know it's not feasible, okay? Look, I'd rather like this one. Why did they just release this? Okay? Because they're highlighting that the fact that it can be used to fiddle with elections. Benny Johnson said huge automotive giant Honda to cut production in Canada and Mexico and increase US manufacturing. The tariffs are working. If tariffs are so bad, why does every country charge tariffs to the United States, but they're not allowed to charge back? Come on. Come on. It looks like the whole world was living off the United States. I think. Yeah, God help me, George. I bought a tent from Temu. Hey, did you hear about all the high-end brands being made in China, by the way? You know, all the, like, Gucci shit, you know, and, well, even, like, I bought a pair of Reeboks about 4 years ago, right? They still look brand new, thank God. But guess where they're made? China. China. Everything's made in China. Have a look at where anything you buy is made. And good luck finding something that's made in Australia, okay? Or anywhere, or in the UK, or in the United States. Good luck, because most of it's made in China. This is why this is great. That you need more of it, and not just cars either. Charlie Kirk said, bro, oh, yep, we've just read that. There's normally two of the same subject, two posts. Benny Johnson seems to come up a lot. Breaking. President Trump says it's possible that income taxes could be replaced by the money brought in from his tariffs. There's a chance that the money from tariffs could be so great that it would replace income tax. There you go. That is fantastic. Okay, here's someone who's saying, no, you can't, right? No, you can't. By the way, even if you could replace income tax with tariff revenue, which you mathematically cannot, but let's pretend you could, what's the point? You just replace income tax with the consumption tax. How does that leave you any better off? This person's a moron. It does, okay? It's going to be so good. You just wait, mate. Just wait and see. Okay, what's this now? Chris Moray, Trump defies court over deportees' return. Chris Moray, who's that? I don't even know who that is. He's ignoring the Supreme Court. Are you clapping in between here? Because that's what all these full stops look like. Many of you have walked this country straight into fascism and you're still too stupid to realise it. My generation will never forgive you. Really? I think your generation's turning out to be mostly conservative right now. Okay. Pokey Pup just said, oh, so do we just not have laws now? Okay, what are we doing with Benjamin Netanyahu here? Iran's excess of terror must be eliminated, he says. Because the Ayatollah Khamenei posted a call to eliminate Israel. Okay, so we're going to war? We're not going to war. We are going to war. We're not going to war. Don't worry, guys. It's all a movie. George said, breaking, 2,000 IRS agents have accepted President Trump's offer to resign. There you go. Is that the end of the news? It's not normally the end. Right, what's trending? Show me. Oh, they're not going to do the same thing here. Okay. Galvin. Indonesia trending. Tigers are trending. Benji's trending in Australia. I don't even know what that is. TAFE is trending in Australia. Katy Perry is trending in Australia because she just tried to go to... Oh, this is ridiculous. Let's have a look. Where is it? Oh, yeah, Katy Perry says their rocket launch is uniting the whole country. What for? Okay, they just went up into the stratosphere, okay? They think they've gone to space. They think they're astronauts. Colin Rugg said, new. Katy Perry says her short trip to space made her connect to that strong divine feminine. God's man. Praises her team's rigorous training. Wow. Rigorous training? What, to sit in a chair for 10 minutes while you go to the stratosphere and back? Wow. Katy Perry says she felt love when she came down. What was she doing in space? What were they all doing in space, by the way? You're like, oh, fucking like button, like. Hit the like button while you're there, guys. You're like really finding like the love like for yourself, because like you got to trust like yourself on this journey, and like you're feeling that like love when you come down for sure, and like you're feeling that strength. Did I do that right? I'm getting sick of the word like. Okay. Oh, she kissed the ground when she came back. Someone kick, boom, and knock her head first. Oh, dear. Katy Perry in space. Yeah, it's about right. Where is it? Yeah, like that. Yep. It's the Blue Origin capsule. That's right. Is heard screaming and giggling as they return back to Earth. The all-female crew. The women say it was time to bring glam to space, and they put the as in astronaut. There's so much wrong with this. There's only one S in astronaut, by the way. The crew included Katy Perry, Lawrence Sanchez, Gail King, Amanda Newton-Jin, okay, Aisha Bao, and Kerry Ann Flynn. There you go. Whoop-de-fucking-do. What is that? What's that got to do with anything? Okay. Just let's go through here. This is just the home page, mind you, okay? When was this? April the 15th. Am I way back? Topher Fields said, hold up, I thought people can't help who they love. I thought there was a whole movement which spent the last 50 years telling us that who we're attracted to is hardwired and we can't help it. It's the way we're born. Fine, I'll play. If those are the rules, then let's clear this up once and for all. It's not my fault if I find a butch, whiny, victim mentality, main character syndrome women unattractive. It's my biology. And fellas, if anyone says you're not allowed to love feminine, soft, attentive women with the skills and desire to make a house a home, tell them, don't you kink shame me. Love is love after all. You're under no obligation to waste time dating woke charity cases, and I strongly suggest you don't. The dangerous rise of men who won't date woke women. I don't blame them. Look, I don't blame men for not liking woke women or not dating them. It's a trend. We're swinging, the pendulum's swinging back the other way, okay? So raise your daughters to be conservatives. Otherwise, they'll be left in the cold, and don't send them to university. That's not going to help them at all. The Vigilant Fox said El Salvador's president issues an ultimate challenge to Trump. He dropped a line so good, President Trump asked if he could steal it. What is it? He said you have 350 million people to liberate. This wasn't tough talk. It was backed by results. We turned the murder capital of the world, that's what the journalists called it, into the safest country in the Western Hemisphere, Bukele said. Critics have attacked his mass arrests, but Bukele flipped the script. Sometimes they say we imprisoned thousands. I like to say we liberated millions. Trump couldn't help but smile. That's very good. Who gave him that line? Do you think I can use that? Bukele didn't stop there. He got to the core of the crisis. To liberate 350 million people, you have to imprison some. That's the way here comes the imprisonments then. That's what this is telling me. That's the way it works, right? You can't just free the criminals and think crime's going to go down magically. You have to imprison them. This is introducing, okay? So this is the part of the movie where you introduce the idea, okay? So you can liberate 350 million Americans asking for the end of crime and the end of terrorism. No spin, no fluff, just facts. And America's finally ready to listen. Let's see it. Then Trump spelled out the scale of Biden's betrayal at the border. Yep, okay, we had a terrible thing that happened. We had an administration that allowed people to come freely into into America from all over the world. They came from prisons and they came from mental institutions and they came from gangs. The gangs of Venezuela and other places, and hundreds of thousands and even millions of them came. The total, shocking. 21 million people altogether, but many of the people that came, just a tremendous percentage of them are criminals, and in some cases violent criminals. And the consequence, we had 11,088 known murderers, half of them murdered more than one person. Trump made it clear who's responsible. This was allowed by a man who, what he did to our country is just unbelievable. But he's not giving up. So we're straightening it out, we're getting them out, but what they did and what that party did to our country, open borders, anybody could come in. He saw it coming from day one. As soon as I heard that, I said every prison's going to be emptied out into our country, and that's what happened. And the lunatic asylums, don't forget. This was the moment the media didn't expect. Trump and Bukele joined forces to torch the mainstream media's silence on the border's success, and CNN caught the heat. Oh, there you go. Trump didn't hold back. Well, they get out, but the fake news, like CNN over here doesn't want to put them out because they don't like putting out good numbers because I think they hate our country, actually. He looked right at the press. But it's a shame, you're right. Isn't that a great question? Why doesn't the media, why don't they put out the numbers? Bukele closed it with a final blow. Yeah, 99%. I mean, it's crazy, right? It's a crazy turnaround. Even the Director of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, stepped in to confirm it. It's just been absolutely phenomenal what a great leader can do. She credited Bukele's partnership in the return of law and order. Clear direction, our laws matter. We should only have people in our country that love us. Well, that's like common sense. Really. And she made the mission clear. Now we just need to get the criminals, murderers and rapists and dangerous gang members and terrorist organisations out of our country. Then directly to Bukele, Mr. President Bukele, we thank you very much for your partnership. It's been wonderful for us to be able to have somewhere to send the worst of the worst and someone to partner with. That's when CNN tried to push back with a question about Kilmar Abrigo Garcia, known as an MS-13 gangbanger who was deported by the Trump administration. They claimed it was a mistake. Trump handed it over to Stephen Miller, and Miller dismantled the narrative. There's an illegal alien from El Salvador, so with respect to you, he's a citizen of El Salvador. So it's very arrogant, even for American media, to suggest that we would even tell El Salvador how to handle their own citizens. He laid out the legal facts. 2 immigration courts found that he was a member of MS-13 when President Trump declared MS-13 to be a foreign terrorist organisation. That meant he was no longer eligible under federal law. He had a deportation order that was valid. Then came the jaw-dropping legal twist. A district court judge tried to tell the administration they had to kidnap a citizen of El Salvador and fly him back here. But the Supreme Court slapped that down. The Supreme Court said the district court order was unlawful, unanimously stating clearly that neither Secretary of State nor the President could be compelled by anybody to forcibly retrieve a citizen of El Salvador, a member of MS-13. Trump turned to Miller. What was the ruling of the Supreme Court, Steve? Was it 9-0? Miller confirmed, yes, it was 9-0 in our favour. Then he delivered the knockout punch. That is the President of El Salvador. Your questions about per the court can only be directed to him. So CNN's Caitlin Collins just did that. She turned to Bukele and said, do you plan to return him? Bukele didn't miss a beat. Well, I suppose you're not suggesting that I smuggle a terrorist in the United States, right? How can I smuggle? How can I return him to the United States? Like I smuggle him into the United States, or what do I do? Of course I'm not going to do it. He called it like this. The question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist to the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States. Then came the career-ending haymaker by the Salvadorian president. I mean, we're not very fond of releasing terrorists into our country. We just turned the murder capital of the world into the safest country in the Western Hemisphere, and now you want us to go back into releasing criminals so that we can go back to being the murder capital of the world? That's not going to happen. And just like that, it was settled. The media narrative was officially shattered. Well done, Bukele and Trump. Mark Woodland said 40 million Americans take statins to protect their heart, but on the latest Joe Rogan episode, Gary Brecker dropped a bomb. They're doing you more harm than good. I'm going to stick that in the medical folder. Okay, we will get back to having Timmy on. Sorry, guys. I don't know when I'm coming on at the moment. Okay, because I'm not well. So I'm going to try and tee it up for... What day is it? I don't even know what day it is. This weekend, maybe? Oh, I'll see. Okay. Jordan H. Knight said, I'm hearing a lot about Gerard Rennick in the run-up to this election. Gerard Rennick. I know I listen to him. I know I follow him. Which party was he on? Can't remember. Something I'll never understand about elections here in Australia and all over the West. We're lucky we use paper ballots, but the moment you suggest it should be pen only, the left lose their mind. Like, why? The moment you mention voter ID, they lose their minds. What the hell's wrong with you people? Why in the world would you not want a secure election unless... Unless you're fiddling. Yeah, you should bring your own pens to vote, please. Fuck 'em. Seriously. If you're in Australia, take a pen. Matthew Kerman-Zulik, come and arrest me. I don't care. Hey, X, can you help me with my quest to unseat Bowen? He promised a $275 reduction in power bills at the last election, but the cost of energy increases year on year. Blank out your private details, any identifying numbers, and post your power bills in the comments. I don't have one at the moment. Can't post my last one. It was very little, actually. Oh, Aussie's finally taking a stand. More than 50,000 taxpayers are ghosting the Australian Taxation Office. Hopefully it'll be 500,000 next financial year. Good. Yep, Australians should stop paying income tax. What are we paying for? So they can sell out the country? Okay, Rad said Kyle has a brain aneurysm. Kyle and Jackie O is a radio station here in Australia on 2Day FM. Are they still on 2Day FM? I don't know. Kyle and Jackie O is suffering from... Kyle has a brain aneurysm. Jackie O is suffering from major complications from long COVID procedure. I will never forget the See You in the NT when he said a lot of people seem to not want to do it. I cannot understand why. It's one little procedure to save us all. I'll show you how easy it is. Get the procedure, don't be a loser. Remember his Get Vax Baby rap? No, I don't remember it. She died just months after her husband was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Who? Kyle and Jackie O's show ex-producer suddenly dies. Oh, there you go. Just age 45. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Nice one. Who's Stephen Miller? Okay. Just deconstructed the entire media narrative surrounding that deported MS-13 gang members that Liberals are demanding be returned home. We just heard that as well. Bro said people are literally going to line up and vote Labor. Even though everything they promised before the last election was a lie, and everything they've promised this election will also be a lie. You can't afford rent, your mortgage, buy food, pay for bills, but we'll vote Labor. Who's telling you this? Is it the polls? Because I don't believe polls. There's lies, damn lies, and statistics, okay? And shit like that. And I think polls are the same. New Australian Right said Gerard Rennick, people first, immigration. Okay, Gerard Rennick is people first. So the People First Party, vote for them. Vote for Pauline Hanson. Vote for Trump of Patriots. Vote everyone except Labor, Liberal and Greens and Teals last, okay? Put everybody above them. Cut and cap immigration. Limit immigration to under 100,000 work visas to reduce pressure on housing, services and infrastructure. Incentivise settlement in regional areas. Deny entry from radical nations. Prevent entry from countries known for radical views or extremism incompatible with Australian values. Deport illegal immigrants. Expel all 75,000 illegal immigrants in Australia. Deport violent foreign criminals. Yeah, of course, that should be, no-brainer, really. Immediately deport any immigrant convicted of a violent crime. Abolish the ART appeals process. Streamline the deportation process and eliminate costly delays caused by the Administrative Review Tribunal. See, another government thing that gets in the way. They just get in the way of things. They prevent you from sending people home. Investigate and close fraudulent education providers. Whoops. Shut down training providers involved in fraud, fake qualifications and diploma mills, which is happening a lot in Australia. Reduce foreign student intake, prioritise university placements for Australian citizens and require foreign students with poor attendance to return home and finish their studies online. No welfare or benefits for 10 years. Foreign-born citizens must wait 10 years before receiving Australian Centrelink benefits. Repeal the India deal. The recent immigration deal with India increases the flow of temporary workers and students into Australia, putting strain on housing and services. This deal needs to be repealed as it undermines the goal of reducing immigration pressure while prioritising local employment and community well-being. There you go. Liberal and Labor and Liberal, doesn't matter which way you say it, it's the same shit anyway. Alexandra Marshall said, aren't just in denial, they're out of their minds when it comes to mass immigration. Last open house I went to, there were 65 people there. 65! Only 2 of us appeared to be citizens. Almost no one spoke English. Most struggle with the question, what's your name? When trying to check in at the door. They were largely over 30. This is not a student problem. It's a mass migration problem. Australians deserve first preference in rental homes in our country after all. If foreigners cannot secure rental, then they can go home. We can't. This is our home. Okay, Malcolm Roberts from One Nation, which is Pauline Hanson's party. And he's always on the ball. He's always on it. There's a few politicians in Australia who really do try to stick up for Australians, and you've kind of got to, find them. I'm going to see what I can do to try and find Australia First candidates so that most people know who they are. Shadow of Ezra said, Russia's mysterious doomsday radio station, UVB-76, just sent out 4 eerie cryptic messages in only 24 hours. Neptune, Thymus, Foxcloak, and Nutabu? Active since 1975, this Cold War era shortwave station usually emits nothing but a static buzz until something big is about to happen. Its true purpose remains a mystery, but many believe it's linked to secret military operations or even nuclear protocols. Okay, let's have a listen.
Татьяна, Ульяна, Николай. 66, 52, 20, 75.
Nikolai.
Татьяна, Иван. Николай, Женя, Татьяна,
Žena, Tatiana.
82,
That's not what they said.
361.
Okay, I heard different words than this here. Okay, Tatiana was in there somewhere. Nikolai was in there. I don't know. Interesting, though. Mr. Nobody. Oh, we need to have a conversation about what happened to the real Alex Jones. Yeah, what happened? Very, very interesting. There you go. What do you think? Replaced? Yeah, because I saw him doing weights, like lifting himself up. I don't know what it's called, lifting your knees up. You hold onto the bar, you lift your knees up. I saw him doing that the other day and I went, that's not Alex Jones. So who's this? Interesting. We're really watching a movie, aren't we? Health Ranger said, be honest, how many of you think this entire thing was staged and never really happened? Probably. What is this fucking stupid virtue signalling bullshit, mate? God, these people love themselves to death, don't they? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really looked at it, so I had no idea, but no, yeah, probably not. Probably was staged, sorry. Okay, just give me one sec, guys. Okay, Insider Papers reporting on the... Why are you saying these words? That's not what they said. No one in the civilian world has a clue what they mean. Which, of course, is likely the whole point. I'm not hearing these words here. Thymus, Fox, Cloak, and Nutibux, and Neptune. Hang on a sec. Let me listen again.
Николай, Женя, Татьяна, Иван. Николай, Женя, Татьяna, Иван.
Nikolai, Zrela, Tatiana, Yvonne. That's what I heard. I don't know what you heard, guys, but I'm not hearing what they're saying unless that's translated into English. Tatiana means what, thymus? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to have to look into that. I can't even think right now. Oh, holy shit. I'm doing all right, though. I'm on here for 38 minutes. I thought it'd be less. Senator Babette's another one you should vote for, okay? Get a pen. Write these down. Senator Gerard Rennick. Senator Ralph Babette. Senator Malcolm Roberts. Who else have we got? Holy shit. No, I'm going to have to think about that longer than that now. Okay, Senator Babette said the ABC essentially just labelled me a Nazi and far right. The taxpayer-funded Marxist mouthpiece needs to be defunded. It's nothing but far-left propaganda masquerading as journalism, and they're using my tax dollars to do it. Enough is enough. I'm a brown immigrant from an island off the east coast of Africa, for goodness sake. How election candidates are boasting the Noticer, a news site promoting neo-Nazi ideologies. Wow, come on. Okay, what's Attorney General Pam Bondi saying? Breaking, we've made an arrest in connection to the February firebombing of New Mexico Tesla dealership and the March attack on the New Mexico Republican Party headquarters. Will be prosecuting to the fullest extent of the law. We are seeking up to 40 years in prison, no negotiating. Not negotiable. Sky News Australia host Andrew Bolt has a Trump derangement syndrome meltdown on TV. I think Matt Canavan handled this question very... Oh, here we go. This idiot... Look, I'm sure him or someone like him was doing a... I don't know. Sky News Australia did a hit piece on Q, right? 4 years ago. They put my head on there saying, where we go one, we go all. Anyway, I think it was this guy. Let's have a listen. What's he saying?
I do wonder why there isn't more robust criticism of Donald Trump. Is it Yeah, maybe some people have got a hero worship of him, or they're too scared to criticise him and offend some on the right here. But this pandering to the Russian president by Donald Trump has become obscene. A day ago, he claimed the Russian missile attack on Palm Sunday that killed 34 Ukrainian civilians was just a mistake. And now he blames Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for Putin invading Ukraine and slaughtering his citizens. Have a look.
He's always looking to purchase missiles, you know. He's against, listen, when you start a war, you got to know that you can win the war, right? You don't start a war against somebody that's 20 times your size and then hope that people give you some missiles.
Isn't it time the coalition says straight out, Trump's position here is not just wrong, it's immoral?
Andrew, I don't know how wise that would be given the first questions you asked me about Russia's influence in our region. America is our most important ally. Fundamentally, it's their choice to choose who their president is. I think one of the strange things about foreign policy discussions all around the Western world is that everybody seems to think they have the right to dictate what America does with its funds, with its military resources, etc. That's a matter for the American people. I think if we are true friends with America, it would do us some service to actually think a bit deeply about why what Donald Trump is saying, what J.D. Vance says, what many senior politicians I've spoken to the US, why that's so supported in the US. It's probably because they haven't had a real wage rise since the 1970s. They've got $37 trillion in debt.
That's got nothing to do with it,
Matt, since September 11th.
That wasn't what I asked
Andrew,
you.
Andrew, he's a democratically elected president.
There's plenty of reasons.
And what he's saying
there
is
are
actually
reasons too why so many Germans voted for Adolf Hitler. I don't want to say Trump is Hitler, but there's a lot of reasons why people take political positions.
If that's your comparison, though, Andrew, why are we still in an alliance with the US? Seriously, I mean, that's an absurd statement.
No,
and I'm not. It's not just Donald Trump. It's wrong. It's wrong, Andrew. It's absolutely wrong to say this is Donald Trump. I've had discussions with senior senators, senior congressmen who say exactly the same thing. And this is we don't seem to understand the
you can have more people saying the wrong thing. It doesn't make it a right thing, Matt. More people saying the wrong thing is not more people saying the right thing.
That's a matter for the American people. We should look after ourselves, Andrew. We should look after our own country. We should focus a little bit more on that.
Russia, mate, he says Zelensky's to blame for Russia invading his own country. That is a disgrace, and it just embarrasses me that that is seen as now something you can't even deny. It's just extraordinary. I think the coalition's got to wake up to itself on this one.
As a good conservative, Andrew, I'm focused on our country, our region. I think one of the problems, one of the reasons the US finds itself, if I can answer, one of the reasons the US found itself in $37 billion of debt and its reaction against it is because they're getting themselves involved in all of these issues around the world.
What money is he making from Ukraine? That's what I want to know.
That they don't understand, and I don't want Australia to repeat the same mistakes.
Well, it's a very great mistake to say that Ukraine is to blame for being invaded. And it's a shame that the coalition cannot say that straight out. Well, you didn't deny it, mate, and I thought that was a bit bad to be honest.
I think it's a bit bad for you to have Trump derangement syndrome, mate. Anyway. Wow. Okay, what else we got? The polls say Peter Dutton's losing the election, which is perplexing. Oh, that's the polls. See, the polls are telling people Labor's going to win, so they're all freaking listening. Stop listening to the polls. Yeah, which is perplexing because people don't like Labor. They don't trust Albanese. They think Bowen's a joke. Chalmers is delusional. Plibersek is a hypocrite. Wong is incompetent. And our ambassador to the US is a liability. It's the polls. Oh my goodness. Okay. What's this? McAmius, I've been sitting at a location called The Rocks. That's in Sydney, right? The Rocks is an area. It's like a suburb nearly. On the water, okay? Since finishing the live stream video for the last 15 minutes, I'm the only white person. And everyone that's walked past speaks Arabic, Chinese or Indian. Where the fuck did Australia go? You noticing, mate? I noticed many years ago. Okay, but anyway, hopefully we get it back. I don't even want to know. I don't, no. What else have we got? China just grounded Boeing and its payback for Trump's tariff fire. Trump dropped a 145% tariff nuke on Chinese imports. China, they clapped back by saying, cool, no more Boeings for us. Now Chinese Airlines, Air China, China Eastern, the whole gang just iced 179 Boeing jets. They were supposed to get through 2027. That's like saying, yeah, we'll walk after ordering a fleet of Ubers. God. Oh, and they're also blocking US airplane parts, so Boeing's already flying around China. Maintenance just, so the Boeing's already flying around China. Maintenance just got very awkward. Boeing's big plan to grow in China, face plant. Meanwhile, Europe's Airbus and China's homegrown Comac are probably doing cartwheels. Trade between US and China was worth $650 billion last year. Now it's turning into a high-stakes staring contest. Trump says he's comfortable with all of it because, of course, he is. Yeah, because there's a bloody... Look. There's a plan, man. Until there's a deal, Boeing's stuck in the middle like the last kid picked in Dodgeball. Dodgeball. Why am I saying Dodgeball? Everything's Doge in my... Yeah, okay. Let's not worry about that. Trump tariffs tank China's growth hopes. Well done. Okay, yep. That was 9/11, isn't it? We know. Yep, that building 7 fell without any help from anything, except some, you know, those things. Okay. Clandestine said Trump has absolutely had it with Zelensky. When asked about sending more Patriot missile systems to Ukraine, Trump says, you don't start a war against someone 20 times your size and then hope that people give you some missiles. Zelensky's clock is about to strike midnight. Good. Yes, actually, yes. There's one man I'd be happy with as Australia's Prime Minister. People's First and Rennick will be number 1 position on my ballot. Gerard Rennick. What's this? After driving from Melbourne to Canberra yesterday on the way to stay in Sydney for a week, the landlord of the rental property decides at 7 p.m. last night that the property is double booked. So at 7 p.m. we find out we have no accommodation to go to, despite booking it 3 months before. I called the travel accommodation service that took the booking. They suggested instead of staying in Manly, we stay near Parramatta. Wow. We call bookingco.co and they say they're happy to cancel the booking for free. Cancel? That's not a cancellation. I asked the lady who the ombudsman they are regulated under. She says to make a complaint to your lawyers should talk to our lawyers, FDS. What? It's amazing how no one takes responsibility. None of them help. And they can treat people this way. So this person's just stuck in Sydney with no accommodation? Great. Okay, a lot of Australia. Senator Gerard Rennick, there he is. People's First. The opinionated black woman auntie said, keep an eye on Dan Andrews. There's something sus going on with him and Albo. Peter and I have been talking. Both reckon Dan's going to be parachuted into a federal Labor set. Oh, no. No. Hey, the best way Labor can lose the election is to put Dan Andrews forward as Prime Minister. Imagine if they do that. Oh, my fucking God. That'd be like what they did in America with Kamala Harris. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, let's go to the Gateway Pundit for a minute and see what's happening over here. Yeah, Trump admin refuses to back down to Obama judge in latest court filing. Yeah, because the judge is a fucking idiot. He's not a Supreme Court judge, is he? Breaking top Hegseth advisor escorted out of Pentagon for leaking Dan Caldwell was also part of the Mike Walls Houthi chat group, this person here, obviously. Democrat rep Laura Friedman says the quiet part out loud, admits House Democrats meet every single week with far-left AGs to plot lawfare against Trump agenda. Isn't that like sedition or treason or something? Yeah, I haven't missed much, yeah, Kai. Assistant DHS Secretary Tricia McLaughlin shuts down lying ABC hack with a masterful response when he tries covering for alleged MS-13 gangster Abrigo Garcia. Border czar Tom Homan tells TGP sanctuary officials absolutely should be arrested, suggests felony charges incoming. Hold tight on that one because it's coming. Oh, are you all right, Kai? Sorry, you were saying there wasn't much good news. You didn't miss much. Oh. Oh. Max, is that your dog? Okay. Sorry, guys. I just got sidetracked by the comments. Okay, we know that. J.D. Vance goes off on Zelensky after Ukrainian president launches a nasty cheap shot against him on 60 Minutes. That's the only way Zelensky can get a shot in, edgewise. Okay, President Trump signs executive order barring illegal aliens from receiving Social Security. Deranged man with a hatchet savagely attacks loving Alabama father. I can't talk. In Arizona, leaving him on life support. Here's how you can help the victim. Well, who are they calling the victim? It's not this guy? Because that's what the left do. It's this guy, the victim. Viral. The race rapper convicted of murder for the second time. Wow. Media is protecting an arsonist. Media caught twisting truth about arsonists who torched Governor's Mansion. Elijah Schaefer's top 5 video. Watch Carolyn Levitt to shreds Democrats and far-left media cronies for putting terrorist illegal aliens ahead of America's safety. China starts losing it over Trump. Tariffs, communist apparatchik warns those American peasants will suffer. Oh, really? And I think you're suffering, mate. Bipartisan bill aims to keep men out of sororities and protect women's... Whoa, where'd that go? Whoa, did you see that? Why is it moving around? Oh, they must be updating the website with new stories, maybe. Protecting women's spaces on college campuses. California underestimates cost of healthcare program. Overrun by illegals, Newsom signs $2.8 billion bailout of state's Medicaid program. Isn't he broke and isn't California broke? How is he signing any $2.8 billion bailout? I'm just interested, you know. Doge strikes again. Defense digital service team full of far-left Silicon Valley techies are out at Pentagon. They were in the Pentagon. Virtually every staff member of the Pentagon's Defense Digital Service is resigning over the coming weeks after Musk's Doge team cleaned house. Doge is replacing the team of far-left Silicon Valley techies, dubbed the SWAT team of nerds, and handing their duties over to Chief Digital and Artificial Intelligence Office. Politico reported under pressure... Now I'm sounding like Biden, under pressure... Under pressure from the Elon Musk-led Department of Government Efficiency, nearly all the staff of the Defense Digital Service, the Pentagon's fast-track tech development arm, are resigning over the coming month. According to the director and 3 other current members of the office, granted anonymity to discuss their job status freely as well as internal emails. The resignations will effectively shut down the decade-old program after the end of April. Defense Digital Service was created in 2015 to help the Pentagon adopt fast tech fixes during national security crisis and push Silicon Valley-style innovation inside the Pentagon. Censorship, anyone? It built rapid response tools for the military during the Afghanistan withdrawal, databases to transfer Ukrainian military and humanitarian aid, drone detection technologies, and more. I'd say the censorship is in here. All coming from in here. What happens when they all lose their job and it gets handed over? Is censorship going to be gone after April? What is it? April showers bring May flowers? Ooh, this is getting interesting. I'm reading stuff between the lines. I don't even know if I'm right. Okay, I could be so wrong it's not funny, but this is what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing in this. Without the program, some key efforts to streamline the DoD's tech talent pipeline and counter adversarial drones will be sunsetted. One soon-to-be former employee said. Once dubbed the Pentagon's SWAT team of nerds, DDS was one of the department's earliest efforts to inject Silicon Valley ethos into its massive bureaucracy. Jennifer Hay, director of the 14-person office, plans to leave by May the 1st. 11 other employees plan to take President Trump's deferred resignation package by then. 2 remaining staffers are also leaving. I can't wait to see what happens. I have a funny feeling that's got to do with censorship as well. Even though it's not being mentioned in there, I have a funny feeling it is. Caught them. New study uncovers $100 million in foreign dark money laundered through 1630 fund to push far-left ballot initiatives in 25 states. Mainstream media's lying again. When are they not? Democrat lawmakers say they will travel to El Salvador to demand President Bukele hand over a legally detained terrorist and accuses Bukele of kidnapping. Well, if the Democrat lawmakers go to El Salvador and get this guy and take him to the US, isn't that against the law? Bloody idiots. Do it, mate, and watch you go for treason. I wish we had more common sense, man. Yeah, I do. Dems crushed as Arizona voters forced to cut up to 50,000 illegal voters from the rolls. Doge announces $2.6 billion in saving after terminating 180 wasteful contracts, including 85.5 thousand for live plant maintenance services contract and 265,500 for social media monitoring and subscription training and platform setup. That's more of the censorship thing, I believe. Huh. This is going to get interesting. So in May, start pushing the limits. Watch what I start reporting on in May. Okay. The agency highlighted presumably the most outrageous expenses, which totaled over $350,000 for the Environmental Protection Agency's plant maintenance and Department of Health and Human Services social media programs. Similarly, Doge recently revealed that minor routine website maintenance for the VA costs around $380,000 per month for minor routine website maintenance. Wow. That contract has not been renewed, and the same work is now being executed by one internal VA software engineer, spending 10 hours per week, the department said. That's that job that they were doing. It was less than 10 hours per week, and they were getting $380,000 per month. Holy shit. According to Doge.gov, the department has saved taxpayers an estimated $155 billion so far in asset sales, contract, lease cancellations and renegotiations, fraud and improper payment deletion, grant cancellations, interest savings, programmatic changes, regulatory savings and workforce reductions. This amounts to nearly $1,000 per taxpayer. The official Doge X account shared the update this morning. Okay, that's it. Contract update as well, which we just read. Democrats are furious that Elon Musk is saving the American taxpayer from their scams and misuse of our money. And the rhinos too. Don't forget the rhinos. There are currently nearly a dozen lawsuits challenging Doge over its authority, data access and privacy laws. There's also a secret resistance agreement between 14 states to conduct coordinated lawfare against Doge and Elon Musk. Why do you think they're trying to blow up Teslas and scratch them and do all sorts of weird shit to them? Musk's role as head of Department of Government Energy is formally designated as that of a special government employee, a status that limits his service to 130 days within any 365-day period. His tenure is expected to end around late May 2025 when that cap is reached. However, as the Gateway pundit reported, President Trump may have several options if he wants to keep Musk leading Doge past the expiration date. There you go. I think a lot of interesting things are going on in the background. Pope Francis puts Catalan architect Antoni Gaudi, the creator of the famous Barcelona Basilica, on the path to sainthood. Joe Biden to rail against Trump and Doge in Chicago speech tonight. Was he talking? Hang on, look, let's go back over it. I need to see this speech. I need to see how he's talking, because if it's how I think it is. Let's go Biden. Right, where was this speech? Okay. Joe Biden is spending his first speech since leaving office saying he didn't have to grow up around black people. I remember, oh, wow, what the fuck?
And I'd never seen hardly any black people in Scranton at the time and I was only going in fourth grade. And I remember seeing the kids going by at the time called colored kids on a bus going by. And I'd never seen hardly any black people in Scranton at the time and I was only going in.
Wow. No, he's still a potato. Okay. Well, that's all I want to say on Biden. Confused and lost, Biden is already rambling into the microphone over blaring music during his first speech since leaving office. Oh, dear. So he's not with it. Okay. He's still... Okay. Shooting at a Dallas high school, 1 injured students evacuate. Pentagon advisor Caldwell escorted out amid leak probe. Trump considers bailout amid tariff impact on farmers. China warns of tariff backlash, calls Americans peasants. Really? Wow. What's trending now? Is it the same shit? Moses. What's Moses trending for? In addition to the injury report, Moses Moody is now questionable for the Warriors. Oh, okay, it's a sports person. I'm not interested. Sorry. I'm not interested in a lot of this. Botox. Let's have a look at Botox. Lawrence Fox said, one small step for feminism, one giant leap for Botox. Do men find these plastic identikit women attractive? I'm interested. To me, they look like vampires in a low-budget Dracula remake with an underfunded makeup artist department. They all look exactly the same. Strange, don't they? No, they put the same face on everyone, haven't they? Have they? Oh, dear God. Tell me that's not real. No, they've just put the same face on. Have they? They do. They all look the same. Botox causes stupidity. Really? Because I think they're right in that one. Okay. After I left, the radical left got a facelift, chin reduction, filler, Botox, and cheek implants. Brianna Wu. My chickens are going off. Women before Botox and fillers. Where's the after? Yeah, because they do all look the same now. Women are starting to look. It's this face. It's that weird. I don't know. No, see, that was done. Yeah, there you go. That's their real faces, right? Okay, thank you. Someone just planted the same face on everyone here. Oh my God. Oh, this is supposed to be them. Oh dear. You realise you're not a hero, do you? Okay. Oh dear God. It's all about those. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at Boeing. Boeing just lost 8,830 plane deliveries to China because of Trump's tariffs. Okay. We've pretty much gone over that as well. I think I might just read the comments and then come back hopefully tomorrow. I don't know. I'm been very up and down this week. I'm just, trying to get through it all. Okay, guys, I'll go back as far as I can to where Deb stuck all the thumbs up there. How you going, Flyby Stew, Zena, George, Deb. Hev was hoping you would talk about the made in China. Oh, yeah, everything's made in China. Freaking Reeboks are made in China. Look, what have I got in front of me? Anything that I can... My mouse probably made in China. I'm pretty sure. I can't see it. I need a fucking torch. Oh. Okay, hang on a sec. I'm just going to light this torch up. Made in China. Of course it is. My mouse is made in China. Makes sense. My keyboard would be too. The mic I'm speaking through is probably made in China. All my computer hardware, is probably all made in China. The lamp is made in China. The camera's made in China. Half of these memory, what do you call them? Hard drives, made in China. Speakers are made in China. And my shoes are made in China. My clothes are made in China. Everything's freaking made in China. So when people go and buy, I swear when people go and buy things like Gucci and that, right, they get given to the rich, right? They don't go and buy it. They don't need to. That's for the poor people who want to appear rich to go and buy that type of shit, Yeah, so there you go. Whoops, sorry, Zena. Zena said, lols, I bought a Gucci bag in Thailand for $110. I feel good. Paul said, what about supporting all those products made in Ukraine? How you going, Paul? Deb said, always have known that they was all made. My mum was a buyer for John Martin. There you go. Did I say hello, Flyby Stew? I don't know. Oh, my God. My brain's just mush today. Paul said, Yahoo got called out as a terrorist country by an EU politician. Lucette said, Katy Perry in space. Oh, dear. Xena said, Carrie Patey turns out is empty space. Does anyone remember the cartoon Josie and the Pussycats? Does anyone remember that? That's what it reminded me of. Except they're idiots. Flyby said, yeah, in her own space, for fuck's sake. Yeah, she's a legend in her own mind. That empty space in her mind. Xena said, lols, all you could hear was the screams like a bungee jump, lols. Paul said, chicks in a rocket that looks like a dick. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes, I heard it. Yep, chicks in a dick, Xena. Deb said, the whole thing is a big show. Xena said, define space. Well, space is anywhere like you. Oh, wow, that's interesting, Xena. If you can wave your arms about, you've got space around you, okay? That's all I can say. Paul said, George said, bimbos in space. Bimbos in space. Paul said, talk about adding to space. Zena said, George, they say it's expanding all the time. They just contributed to the formation of black holes. J1 said, swing that pendulum, boys. Yeah, I agree. Paul said, if you follow the RV, Trump apparently announced Iraqi currency has started. Follow the RV. What's the RV? J1 said, Paul, yeah, an XRP just outperformed SWIFT in BIS cross-border payments. Ooh. I'm waiting for it. Zena said, J1, that's good news for a lot of small-time people. Lucette said, to join MS-13, they have to murder a little girl. Just being a member of MS-13 means he's a child murderer. There you go. Zena said, yes, nice fresh face in El Salvador. Very nicely dressed. J1 said, been smashing the local honey 4 times a day, and my chest is cleared up nicely. Oh, nice, J1. Deb said, could not happen to 2 better people like Kyle and Jackie. Zena said, it's a triage. Deb said, smaller the better to vote for. J1 said, yep, straight natural honey. Oh, nice. Zena said, they all need to give their preference to each other, not one preference to Labor or Liberal. They don't preference them. You do. That's what I don't... Oh, that's where a lot of people are mistaken, I think, Zena. You put your preferences in when you number them from 1 to whatever it is. That's where the mistake is. I know the TV talk about like, oh, one nation's preferencing. Like, no, they're not. Okay? I don't think they preference each other. I think that's what you put on your ballot. I don't know. I might be confused. Zena, go watch Topher Field. Is Topher, is on YouTube. Field, as in a nice green field. He teaches you how to vote. Okay, he knows more about it than I do. Honestly, go and watch his video on voting. George said, I do add some honey in my porridge sometimes. Senator said, if they did that, it will show just how united we really are, a snapshot on reality so we can move forward, not backwards. I agree in getting, they should just join parties. That's what I agree with. All the little parties should join up. If that's what you're saying. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I could be wrong, Zena. But I think Topher was the one who said they don't preference, we do. When we fill our ballot out. Flyby said, honey in my tea or coffee always. J1 said, just got some Yumundi honey and you could taste every flower. Best I ever had. Really? Where'd you get that from? J1. Senator said, they cram 6 people in a unit and pay minimum rent. Yeah, exactly. Lucette said, the Dutch leader has announced new rules for Muslims, no call to prayer through megaphones, illegals deported, etc. He's brilliant. Excellent. Zena said, I used to get on the bus and I'd be the only Australian. Everyone else was a Chinese student getting off at Griffith Uni. Oh, no. George said, the Aussie Labor and the British Labor are both out of their minds. Out to lunch said they went to space, so all of them are not the stupidest person on Earth. No, they're stupidest people in space. Deb said that would be great, Hev, to know who is for us in Parliament. I can read you the names of the people, but as for voting, I would honestly go and follow Topher Field in Australia for Australian voting. Flyby Stu said George Socialist Ed cases. Lucette said yes, Geert Wilders. I couldn't remember his name. Out to lunch. How you going? Kai, how you going? Out to lunch said I'm way behind on TV. Deb said it would explain a lot, Alex Jones. Kai said out to lunch. I did a video earlier today about that very thing with painting at the end. Sanders said, I thought he looked different. I thought it was a testimony to his products. I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. Flyby said, Alex Jones upside down head. Sanders said it was a ritual. Deb said the door end from the inside before they opened it and told them to wait. Rod, how you going? Late to the party. That's cool as long as you turned up. Zena said, I wonder if they saw the earth was flat or round and how did they land in the same place? Kind of, wouldn't the earth have moved? Yeah, you'd think so. It would be spinning underneath them. Deb said, me too, Hev, that's what I hear. Alex said, all done. That took a lot longer than I thought. Been listening, chuckling away whilst chopping vegetables. Good. As long as I'm still sort of funny, it's all right. Out to lunch, said, does any one of you guys have a friend that doesn't say goodbye on a phone? No, I always say bye or see ya. Have a good one. Love you. All that sort of shit, you know. Kai said Earth rotates at around 2,000 miles per hour. Then it would have moved 100. Okay, so let's say it moved 100 mile while they were up in space. Wouldn't they land 100 miles up the road? Did they land 100 miles up the road? I don't know. Lucette said Russian names, Tatiana, etc. Name of Romanovs who were murdered? Oh, I don't know. J1 said, I have a love you compulsion before I hang up, lols. Yeah, I do too. I say it to most people. And not apart from like the real estate and that, I try not to, of course. You know, imagine that. Love you, bye. But most of the people I speak to are my family. So, yeah, it's love you, bye. Zana said, so they would have gone 22 Ks upstream to land. Okay, I'm on live chat. Hey, Black Hat Music, how you going? You managed to get to the top. Okay, J1 said Bolt hates Trump. Oh, there you go. Kai said, or father. Out to lunch said, too muchy texting Alex, too muchy. Rod said, if the earth spins at 2,000 miles per hour, how one supposed to walk in a straight line when requested, lol? Flyby said, most of my mates sarcastic like, gives a bell when I'm not in, or in a bit, no goodbyes. Oh, wow, there you go. Yeah, I always say goodbye. See ya, bye. Talk to you soon. Something. So I said, I wonder if they all if now they all have a dirty secret. Alex said, I've been listening. I was just prepping my dinner for tomorrow. Lovely Chinese. Hope you're well, Zena. Yeah, sounded nice. Marinating the meat and chopping all the veggies. Oh, I caught that first comment, Alex. J1 said, how do planes get anywhere travelling at Mach 1? I got no idea. I can honestly say I've got no idea. Kai said, but they didn't leave the atmosphere, so it's not really that far, but a same spot landing? No way. J1 said, must fly in the opposite direction. George said, sounds nice, Alex. Zena said, I know that's somewhere in the ether. The moon flips upside down in the other hemisphere. Kai said, true, could fly with rotation. Zena said, I started questioning when I went to France and came back, same time it took. Alex said, they are bloomin' falling out of the sky at record pace. I reckon they're trying to make people scared to fly. I was already a bit scared, but I don't fancy a door falling off, J1. Yep, that's because they're made in China, because they're, Boeing sent it over to China, see? Lucette said Zelensky was getting back-handed from all the organised crime in Ukraine. Kai said, I'm to the point I'd look up to check if they said the sky was blue. Yeah. Zeta said Trump hating is so passe. Yeah. Out to lunch said bees are in trouble. They've been in trouble for years since I woke up. That was one of the first things I heard about with GMOs. Bees. 2008. They were in trouble. George said, I prefer to keep my feet firmly on the ground. Let's just hope the beekeepers are keeping bees. Alex said, yeah, I really fancied beef stir fry, fake away, takeaway. I got a massive shop today. Gonna make my own doner kebab this week too. Yum. Rod said, Alex, more dangerous to drive. Deb said, spot on, Hev. Zena said, the process at the airport is what makes me not want to go anywhere anymore. Alex said, out to lunch. I hope you and Donna are well. Fred loves Donna and Donna loves Fred. George said, nice, Alex. Zena said, I'm catching the train to Sydney. It's quicker for me to get to the airport to go by train. Wow. Flyby said, I had a seafood coma yesterday. Yesterday was better than I expected. I haven't had one of them. J1 said they want to cancel passports and use bio and facial recognition. Oh, no. Alex said, I'm so sorry to hear about Max sending love and prayers. Kai, hope you and Tony are well. Oh, God love you. Sorry to hear about Max. Deb said, it's okay, they're falling out of the sky anyway. Lucette said also, Russia was suffering from Ukraine's organised crime, particularly kidnapping children and women for sex trafficking, so Russia was right to invade Ukraine as far as I'm concerned. There you go. Yep, true. George said, I've not made a curry in a while. Rod said, me too. Sorry to hear about Max. Kai said, I'm on minute to minute, literally any second, maybe it. Kai said, kidnapping is way up in the US too. Stop the trafficking and the sickos are desperate. Rod says, sorry to have missed your live stream today, Kai. Yeah, I didn't even get a notification. I didn't even know you were live. Flyby said, YouTube can be good for cooking ideas. Never eat curries. The korma was really good. Don't eat heat. Lucette said, is there a place in Australia called Manly? Lol, love it. Yes, there is. It's the beaches of Sydney. One of them's called Manly Beach and the suburbs surrounding it's called Manly. Although I don't know how manly it is right now. I'm hoping it's manly. I'm hoping we haven't lost too many men. George said, who's Max? Deb says, sorry to hear about Max, Kai. Oh, it was Max the fish. Oh, no. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, he was a beautiful fish. Rod said, kinda is Kai, been a bit. Zena said, oh, our leaders have such strange faces. Why? Kai said, wasn't much good news. You didn't miss much. Oh, there you go. Now I've got the context of that. See, context matters. Because I didn't understand what Kai said when he said wasn't much good news. You didn't miss much. I thought from me being away, I haven't missed much news, But no, it's not what he meant. Alex said, I do like a nice curry. You should make one. I got some tikka and baldi spice too today for a nice chicken salad naan wrap. George. And Zena said, conspiracy. George said, oh, Kai, sorry to hear about Max. Zena said, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Deb said, I have to make breakfast thinking of Alex's dinner. Yeah, I'm going to have to go and make brekkie in a minute too. Rod said, lol, Kai, always good to hear from you. Kai said, I'd always vote conspiracy first. Alex said, Max was Kai, Siamese fighting fish. The poor thing, George. Yeah, little fishy. Zena said, the conspiracy theory is just truth that is not revealed yet. Yes, exactly. Alex said, beautiful fish. Kai said, my last seizure was 15 hours long. Next on one may put me down. Could be any second. No good news. Oh, God love you, Kai. Prayers for you, Kai. Seriously. I thought I was feeling bad, but no, there's always someone worse out there, worse off out there. So my heart goes out to you, Kai. I feel bad enough. Oh, you poor thing. Out to lunch said porn star's dad was a serial killer. Yeah, I heard about that. And one of the other guys has also been done for something. Hang on. Don't bring me up porn stars, please. Yeah, it was this one, but there was another one. I think this guy was also busted doing something. Was it this one? I'm not sure because they look very similar. Hang on. They don't look completely alike. No, it wasn't that one. It was the other one. This one. I believe. And someone's saying they're fake videos. Don't fall for videos falsely claiming Rick Harrison from porn stars was sentenced to life in prison. Fact check, apparently, allegedly. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're just, I don't know. I've really got no. That's why I haven't reported on it, because I don't know. Latest. Don't know. So there's where I stand with that one. I have no idea. Because I saw videos on YouTube with the other guy in it too, saying he'd done something wrong too. But I don't know. Lucette said, so sorry, Kai. Out to lunch said, did we know that? I don't know, but I can't think right now. Kai said, it is what it is. Oh, God, love it. Yeah, I'm good with it. Lucette said, bless you, Kai. George said, wow, Kai, sorry to hear that. Alex said, I've been watching loads of cooking videos, so I have loads of ideas in my head. I might start my cooking channel with all the ingredients I got. Well, Alex, you should be doing it now. Deb Richardson, what are you going to make? Deb said, we love you so much, Kai. Zena said, have you seen the reports of only 300 million people in China might bear cover up this tariff war? Yeah, I have heard that. And I also heard that there's a lot of Chinese in Australia. So maybe they've all left China and they're all coming to all our countries. I don't know. Kai said, even looking at the phone screen, it's always pulsing, though we can't see it. Yeah, exactly, Kai. Just listen. Put the phone down and don't look at it. Like, just listen. Deb said, yes, please, Alex. I could use some new recipes. Oh, have you ever sat down and watched like a Japanese bakery for 2 hours? Makes you want to get up and make donuts and cupcakes and all. Don't do it. Go for the healthy ones, right? Seriously. Rod said, don't give up, Kai. Kai said, Deb, you guys are more family to me than my own mother, honestly. Oh, God, love you, Kai. Yeah, lots of hugs, Kai. To you and Tony, God love yous. Zeta said, okay, I hope you're okay. People do care, even if we can only send it via words on a screen. Rod said, medicinal mushrooms, Kai. Kai said, I was told how ridiculous it is that I'm attaching to people I'll never see, but it seems logical there is no other contacts. Well, we care about you, Kai. We do. We do. Whether you feel it or not, you know, whether we're just people on another side of a screen or not, or words in a chat, we do care about you, Kai. J1 said, Kai, nutmeg. George said, CBD. Kai said, Zena, I love it this way, honest emotion. Rod said, so funny, Kai. Bruce is a prime example. Kai said, George, I'm getting stoned as we type. Zena said, I understand that, Kai, living alone on a mountain, a lot of things fall away. Alex said, I think we all have an attachment to our Hev family. I don't know what I would have done without you all over the past few years. You've all kept me sane-ish. Oh, God love you, Alex. Kai said, Rod, exactly. No hidden motivation, just friendships. Yep. George said, okay, Kai, smoking a joint as well, lol. Flyby said, take care, Kai. Have you got a deficiency of minerals or something? Zena said, Alex, I feel the same. I don't go on many chats, but Hev is the best, maybe because she's an Aussie like me. Oh, God love yous. Deb said, I know what you mean, Kai. I used to be a bit embarrassed that my friend are in other countries, but you have all given me so much support, even through some very tough times. Thanks, Hev and Hevites. Oh, God love yous. Well, you guys have done it that same for me too. J1 said, I have up weed 3 weeks ago. Oh, you gave up. Wow, well done. Alex said, same here. Hev's the only chat I join in with now. Zena, I love it here. Kai said, I know I'd still have my wrench. Is slurry Gurpy hadn't been a... Who's that? Oh, God love you. I can't remember who was a twat. J1 said, tobacco next. Oh, good idea. Rod said, sure miss him, Kai. Such an awesome group of people. Deb said, this has been the most welcoming chat. Zena said, I'm doing my best to tone myself down, and you guys give me other things to think about as well. Oh, God love you. George said, okay, Jay, I would have gave up the tobacco first and smoked weed in a pipe. Lol. Zena said, trouble is, I agree with Hev so much. Alex said, just a massive extended family, Deb. One day I know we'll all meet. We need that underground magnet train. Yes, we do. Kai said, Rod, his son is restarting the channel this September. Oh, well done. That's Bruce's son, is it? Oh, wow, that's so good. J1 said George smoking since 10 years. Rod said Deb, hard to find. J1 said old. Kai said same channel, so nothing new to hunt for to find it. Rod said been wondering, Kai. Alex said Biden needs to be tucked up in a care home bed, yes. Or in a wheelchair with his little blankie and a pillow so he can just like drop off when he needs to. Alex said blimey and laughing. George said I've been smoking 30 plus years. Deb said it's still blah blah is Biden. Flyby said George, I just bought a pipe. Been stopped 5 months with tobacco, missed my weed. Zena said no, Alex, a cold steel bed in that new prison they got for the real bad guys. Kai said he's brushing up on using the equipment. Alex said bumbling Biden, nothing new, lol. Zena said he still has that smug look, comes through even with dementia, but more of an evil smile. Yep, George said Biden's a fool. Kai said that was Jim Carrey in a mask, actually. Yeah, exactly. Deb's laughing at Botox. Rod said the telescope, Kai, and infrared. J1 said Dad owned a pool hall. Me and my brother would wait for lit bulbs to get flicked out the door. We were about 5 years. Oh, lit butts, yep, to get flicked out the door. You're about 5 years old. Wow. George said, Botox in space. Deb said, men, really? Botox face? Kai said, yep, all of it, even the 32-inch. Alex said, yeah, prison bed would be more apt. I don't care how old he is. He's still a sick old pedo who touched his daughter up in the shower, Zena. Deb said, rainbow colours hair is dangerous. Yes, it's ugly too, yeah. George said, plastic surgery ruins people's looks. It does. Look, they all look the same. All their lips look the same. It's, yeah, it doesn't look good. Okay, where am I? Around here somewhere. Okay, I'm around here somewhere. I agree, George. Plastic surgery ruins people's looks, Alex said. I don't know why any woman or man does that to their face, literally filling it with poison. It's horrendous. They look far better before. Deb said, yes, I can hear the chooks. Rod said, wow, Kai didn't know how much his son was involved. George said, grow old gracefully. Exactly. Mrs. MTW, how you going? CGI for sure. And why did the CGI rocket look like a male body part? Exactly. Dildos in space. J1 said, look at me, look at me, look at me. Yeah, look at me. That's what they were, yeah, those, the I don't even want to call them ladies. Those women, those, I don't know, the space cadets, right? That's the best thing to call them, space cadets. Those space cadets with nothing between their ears, sorry. Yeah. Look at me, look at me. Alex said, I agree, George, it's not nice at all. Lucette said, you've done really well today, Hev. Hope you feel better soon. Yep. Thank you, Lucette. God love you. I'm trying my hardest, believe me. I'm up with a brain full of mush because I'm a bit unwell. Yep. Hopefully it's not too bad. Kai said, the country earned whatever is coming through karma. Think about our holidays, a fat guy, jack-o'-lantern, a rabbit tooth stealing. Deb said, so grateful to be able to catch up with everyone. Kai said, pagan as fuck. Zena said, Paul, you mean all those children? Alex said, you take it easy, Hev. You did well to come on tonight. As I know how ill you've been feeling, at least you're getting a good detox. Sending your healing prayers, definitely. That's exactly what I think's going on. After reading it the other day, I just went, oh, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. Deb said, hence why Trump keeps saying China, China, China. China. Yep, J1. Flyby said, was smoking 44 years now. Factor needed to stop. My neighbour COPD cleared up. No need of meds. I'll let you know if mine clears up. Oh, okay. Yeah, let us know, Flyby. Deb said, we'll forgive you today, Hev. Alex said, I used to say this years ago that everything was made in China or Taiwan. If you're into those designer bags, you're better off going to the dodgy man on the beach on holiday. Yes, you are. Deb said, yes, I love Josie and the Pussycats. Out to lunch said, does anyone remember when it was bad when you see 60 Minutes coming to your door? Yep. Deb said, they're all men in drag. Shannon said, in space, no one can hear you sing. Oh, thank God for that. Shannon. Kai said, oh, guys, great laugh idea. Concealed fart spray for raging crop dusting at store. Oh, no. Alex said, also, I think it cost China about £10 to make an iPhone when the West is silly enough to spend nearly £2,000 on it. I have a cheap Android and I'm happy with that, lol. Yep, me too. And Deb said, dollar. Zena said, wish they could have got lost in space. Rod said, heck, Hev, I remember watching the Monkeys when they had a weekly show. Yes, the Monkeys. People say we monkey around. Okay, Kai saying hello to Shannon. Oh, Lucette said RV is revaluation. Okay. And is that a channel or a what? Or is that, I don't know. My brain's mush. I'm so sorry, guys. Laughing at Shannon and Kai. George said, iPhones do not interest me. No, me neither. I hate them, actually. Kai said, I remember the Monkeys. Kai said, Deb, good for self-defense too. Flyby Stew said, 80 quid dinger, lol. George said, I have the Monkeys' greatest hits. There you go. Deb said, China does pay their workers properly. Yeah. I think they use the Uyghur Muslims as slave labour. Alex said, I barely use my phone anyway. I want to go back to a dumb phone, but lots of networks are stopping 2G. So I'm forcing people to get smartphones, George. I still have a landline. So do I. Zena said, yes, but if they don't win, they turn their votes to either Labor or Liberal. Watch Topher Field. That's all I can say because I don't know, honestly, but I think Topher Field said it's not them that preference, it's us by numbering them. Because if your vote, like say you vote one, Pauline Hanson, just say, right? And second one, you've put Gerard Rennick. Just because Pauline Hanson doesn't win, that preference vote should not go to Liberal or Labor. But I don't know how it works exactly. So I know Topher Field knows, Zena. I'm not sure, to be honest. Lucette said, Alex, me too. Kai said, China sounds like a living hell. Deb's laughing at Kai again. Zena said, so it's always been a vote for lesser party is a wasted vote if they don't win. Zena said, yes, Hev, but we won't because they have made us feel divided. Alex said, yeah, it's terrible. I feel sorry for all those poor sweatshop people, Deb. Rod said, the Monkeys had some pretty good songs. Last Train to Clarksville, a fave. Zena said, when we cast our ballot, they will see just how strong we are when we combine, and then people will see what's going on and turn on them. Yep. George said, I don't want a landline either, Alex. Deb said, why does Liberal have another party with them? Well, Labor has the Greens. I don't know. So the Liberal have Nationals. Kai said, oh, since you know the news from my side, if you want to watch the video from today, speed it up, painted an exploding heart. Really? Deb said, Zoolander. J1 said, Mundi is a town on Fraser Coast, a lot of bottle brush. Oh, really? Flyby said, Alex, they called mobile phones, but mine never leaves house, never. Answer machine, leave me a message. Kai said, I happen to be very close to that Clarksville. Out to lunch said, in the time of kings, Doge was an advisor to the king. Zane said, Deb, I think that they team with the Nationals historically because Nationals is for the farmers. Kai said, bought 8 minutes away. Kai said, 11 minutes from the train station. Deb said, please email the name of me, Hev, of the right person to learn from. I'll put his link in here for, hang One sec. Oh, stuff it. I'll just go in here and look for him. This is on my other account. Oh, look at me from ages ago. Here we go. Topher Field. He does it with marbles, but this is his. I'm going to show you. I'm going to share his whole.
Mr. Topher Field!
Shh. Sorry about that, guys. Let me just turn the audio capture down. Where's the share button now? Oh, look, frook it. That'll do. Copy. I've copied. Now, you've got to sub to this guy, okay? If you're an Australian and you're confused about voting, please sub to Topher Field. He explains it. And the marbles video, actually look up Topher Field and marbles. Where is it? There you go, marbles. Voting explained with marbles, okay? Preferential voting, the definitive guide with marbles. Okay, how to vote with marbles. There you go. He's very good with Australian politics, actually, I'll have to say. Okay. Where was I? George said we need Doge in the UK. Radar is said it's on my playlist, Kai. Alex said, I miss the days where we would meet our friends to play. We'd come in when the lights came on and we'd say we'd all meet up the next day. No phones, just fun. Yep. Deb said, funny. You are funny, Hev. Oh, that's good. Lucette said, George would bloody do, mate. Zena said, yeah, Alex, so you knew where to go. All your friends would already be there, lols. Kai said, okay, the rocket got factor, the direction and speed with distance could have done. It's not impossible. Lucette said, Alex, me too. I was born in 67. Alex said, for sure, uncover all the corruption. MPs definitely need their banks backing. George said, the 80s and 90s was good decades. Kai said, speed or rocket above 25,000 mpg means totally possible. Deb said, check out the video of the return from space. They are not supposed to be able to open the door from the inside. There you go. Yeah, it's all bullshit. Alex said, if I had a good look at it, I'm sure I'd say it was bullshit anyway, yeah. Alex said, those were the days, Zena. Out to lunch said, Lincoln died today after being shot the night before and the Titanic sunk today. Oh, and it's tax day, so it's National That Sucks Day. Oh. Flyby said, my stepson was confused when I told him to knock on his friend's door instead of texting Alex. Lucette said, George, to me the 80s were amazing, especially for the music. Kai said it was mostly done for the sexual symbolism. Alex said, I'm an 80s baby, but 60s must have been better than that. George said, yeah, Lucette. Kai said, Tesla and Space Agency logo looks like a snatch and Blue Origin looks like a dong. Oh, there you go. George said, I was born in the 60s, lol. Deb said, yes, Truman Show. Alex said, yeah, knocking for friends too. Can so-and-so come out to play? Miss it so much, Flyby. Lucette said, Alex, the 60s was probably great, but the 80s were amazing. Deb said, yes, Kangaroo Island, best honey. Ooh. Lucette said, Alex said, Lucette, definitely great hair, can't beat a bit of crimping. I used to love my crimper. Rod said, much love, all cats are demanding my attention. Love you, brother Kai. Thanks, Hev. No problem, Rod. Good to see ya. Flyby said, Lucette, I was born in 67. Also, what a year, lol. Lucette said, Alex, we all had those curly perms. Kai said, a teaspoon of local honey from your area treats allergies and never goes bad. George said, crimp your hair and end up like Michael Jackson. Lucette said, Fly, what a year. I had a hair crimper in the 80s. I used to love that thing. Zena said, there's a Manly in Brisbane too. Oh, is there? Lucette said, there's a place called Womanly, lol. Oh, wow. J1 said, Flyby, I'm a 69er. Zena said, never thought of it like that, lols. Kai said, cross Michelle Jackson with Hugh Jackman, you get a Wolver, he. Deb said, well, I was thinking about the tariff. It's slowly down the movement of shipping where people are being trafficked. Deb said manly men. Lucette said J1. Is that a confession, lol? One sec, guys. I'm just going to cough. I'm going to mute. Okay. Flyby said, J1, you being rude, lol. Okay, I'm not going to read that. J1 said, Lucette, days gone by. Out to lunch said, China may be saving lives by not taking the Boeing planes. Yes, they may be. Deb said, if you could, please give Hev a thumbs up if possible. J1 said, just made the 60s. Deb said, the painter was a serial killer and painted were. Zena said, never watched that show, but they look dodgy anyway. George said, nothing wrong with 69, 2 years after I was born, lol. Kai said, oh, Hev, I'm good with it. Got to get everyone else okay about it. Don't want to leave that. Didn't see it coming, lost group behind. Oh, God, love you. Alex said, bloody AI is getting so good, but those chains look fake around his neck. Zena said, AI is reprogramming us into not quite human. Kai said, AI can't do hands correctly, though. No, it can't. It puts 6 fingers in there for some reason. Zena said, it's slightly off, like a subtle Mandela effect on our conscious. Alex said, I know I need to try and sorry my camera out so I can film the food cooking properly. I might do a trial run, see if I can get the setup right, Hev. Yeah, definitely. Oh, you definitely should, Alex. Zena said, I got into an argument with someone in comments because I said AI is telling us how to be human. Kai said, look up phone screen pulses and infrared. Yes, I know, Kai. All screens do it. J1 said, Zena singularity, transhumanism. Flyby said, bedtime for me. Take care, Hev, and everyone. Till next time in a bit. Yeah, it'll be bedtime for me in a minute after I eat something because I am feeling a bit dizzy, actually. Woo, there's all sorts of weird things going on with me. Okay. Alex said, I think some of those Mandela effects are gaslighting, like with the fruit of the loom. They blatantly lied and think others jumped on it to try and rewrite history. Yeah, I think a lot of it might be. Like distractions everywhere. There's distractions everywhere. J1 said, flyby stew and waved. Kai said, there's bits of people having jailbreak AI. It's just a word replacement game. Replace yes with and a no and with other words, and it can then be honest. Zeta said it's only artificial intelligence because it's coming through the fibre optic cable, but it's actually ancient intelligence. Everyone's saying, have a good one, fly, bye. Zeta said, it is the alien invasion has already got most of us. Oh, that who you're talking about. Yep, okay, Kai, yep. Oh, shoot, jumped. Where was I? Oh, where was I? Okay, Alex, so that's good to hear. Bruce's legacy will live on. Oh, there, threatened unsub, so you dropped your wrench to keep him? Yep. So to say, Alex, I know for sure Richard Chamberlain died because my mother and I both cried in the lounge room. Imagine my surprise decades later. Kai said, Alex, yes, he's going to pick up where Bruce left off. Deb said, Jupiter's delight people with Biden. Alex said, I've heard that about being older than people think. Xena could even be fallen angel technology. Xena said, Alex, it's more than that. Kai said, I remember 3 astronaut rescues, 2 people 3 times. George said the fallen angel's the Antichrist or devil. Xena said the dildoid. Deb said dicks in space. Remember pigs in space. Kai said, I'll be starting my little sun check videos again too if they stop spraying long enough. Kai said, space dick, good. And the top popping off. Alex said, oh, wow. Yeah, there have been so many anomalies like that. I do wonder if these lines have been switched directly, especially with them ramping up CERN. Something definitely happened in 2008. Kai said, to blow the load off top. Kai said, things seems to change after that year, 2008. More so after 2012, I think. More so then. Okay, everyone's laughing at each other. Deb said, I thought RV is a channel. Lucette said, the monetary reset is the RV have. Oh, okay. Kai said, exactly a reset. Alex said, things don't seem to have been the same since then, Kai. Zena said, and we have ejaculate. Okay, I'm not going to. Okay, I'm leaving the dicks in space, okay? Lucette said, Nasara Jasara. Kai said, and ramped up lately too. Deb said, sorry, I understand now, the RV. I do watch a channel RV. It's about the frog prince. Lucette said, the frog prince, lol. Kai said, empty space. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Zena said, National Party was formed for a country voice and a city slicker parliament. Yep, so there's Topher Field's link there. If anyone wants it, Australian voting, please go see Topher Field. Deb said the marble guy you did put in the post. Kai said the governments all have been faked for the longest, looking into who set the world on its ear. Deb said, oh, I have subbed, thank you, Hev. He has not lost his marbles. Yep, no, he hasn't. J1 said the AAC reprimanded Topher for his marbles. Yeah, the AEC is corrupt as hell. I've been watching them on Twitter and, oh, mate, they are corrupt as hell. I wouldn't believe the AEC. I'd believe Topher over the AEC. Zena said, going to watch that, Hev, just to clarify my information. I could have it wrong. Oh, definitely, Zena. Zena said Albo might lose his marbles this election. I could be wrong too. It just might be that I am so sick that I just heard what I wanted to hear, you know? But I swear he was the one who said that. So, yeah, definitely go and check him out and look through quite a few of his videos. Deb said, I'm counting on it, Zena. George said, never heard of Topher. Oh, it's not Tropher, it's Topher. Yeah, no, he's an Australian and he shows Australians like our politics and how to vote, and he calls people out. He loves Trump as well. He loves Trump, okay? He's another one. Seriously, I'd sub. I have subbed. What am I talking about? Alex said, I meant banks checking MPs. They're up to some dodgy stuff with taxpayer money. Kai said, now, if the rocket had gone to space, then it would have been basically left behind by the rotation. I don't know if you're being rude there or not, Kai, so I'm just being careful. Zena said, I hope so, Deb. I can't take another 4 years of that mealy-mouthed liar. Yeah, our Prime Minister. Kai said, I'm very smart. George said, Labor and the Tories are crooks, Alex. Zena said, 80s, big hair, big shoulder pads, big dreams, big credit love affair. Kai said, I meant smart. Alex said, take care, God bless, see you soon, Rod. Everyone's saying good night, Rod. Deb said, have you done so well this morning? Thank you. Oh, I'm still hanging in here. Alex said, yeah, they're all the same, rotten to the core, even that new reform. We need to completely start again at a local level. Dismantle any main political agenda, George. You know what it's going to take? It's going to take the people to start a party. Oh, shoot, I jumped again. It jumped again. J1 said, monster cyclone forecast to form Queensland. Oh, God. Alex said, try and sort my camera. I can't type today. I'm having, don't worry, my brain's full of mush right now. Kai said, Alex, stiffest penalties for public officials. I agree there. Zena said, agree, Kai. We need a few examples set and reason for them to behave themselves. Yes, exactly, Kai. George said, the only way that will happen, Alex, is with a revolution. Kai said, got a list a second there. Zena said, AI could be artificial intelligence, but it also could be alien invasion in our faces. Alex said, yeah, Labor banged on about the £22 billion black hole that was left by the past party, yet the new MPs are jumping on private jets and building runways and all sorts abroad. Flippin' jokes, Kai. Yep. Deb said, nothing new under the sun. Hello, Mr. Edwin. How you doing? Miss Heaven blessings, always yellow roses. Yellow roses means new hope and blessings for you and your family and channel. God bless you. You always are my dear friend. Oh, God love you. Mr. Edwin, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And blessings to you too. And your family, definitely. Alex said, all paid for by the taxpayer. Alex said, Edwin, God bless you too. Yep. George said, the only hole is Starmer's. Oh, George, I won't read that one. This is Starmer's Black Hole. There you go. Deb said, hello, Edwin. Lovely to see you. Lisette said, Alex, yeah, we really are screwed with this lot in charge. Edwin said, oh, God bless all driving and listening. God bless all. You too, Edwin. Senator said, 2012, the year I died. Kai said, George, that's Joy Reid. George said, Starmer sold his behind to Lord Ali. Alex said, yeah, he's a rancid old behind hole. That doesn't make sense. Now I'm trying not to say, yeah, all these words not working for me. George said, I can't stand Starmer. He makes my skin crawl. Shannon said, sorry, I haven't been chatting. Out and about getting antibiotics for my son. He had a massive cavity. Took him to a dentist, but infection is too painful for the little guy to get it removed. Oh, God love him, Shannon. God love him. Well, prayers for him too, that, you know, the infection goes away, he can get the tooth seen to quickly. Deb said, we all died in 2012, Zena. That's what I feel like. I feel like the Twilight Zone. It's called The Hitchhiker. It's the 1960s version, and she's driving cross-country, and she keeps seeing this man who's hitchhiking. Problem is, she died in the beginning of the show when she blew out a tyre. She was dead. That's how I feel. Like her. I'm already dead. Shannon said, got to go, big smoke to put him to sleep to have it removed. Oh, so he's got to go to the hospital or something. Alex said, I know Starmer's the worst tool his dad made. Zena said, I have 4 full days unaccounted for. I was never the same again and my life went to shit. Oh, no, Zena. Lucette said, Alex, yep, lol. Kai said, the first run or the hadron started a collapse of dimensions. Oh. I hear my chickens going off again. Alex said, safe journey, Edwin. Deb said, former spare of the royal family known as Prince Harry has been turned into a frog prince. Kai said, Zena, holy cow, 4 days, only lost 15 minutes. Alex said, I hope he feels better soon. Toothache is the worst. Kai said, if 15 minutes equals 20 years, holy cow. Deb said, I could hug you so hard, Kai. Shannon said, oh, yes, I hate toothaches. They're the worst. Kai said, you must have been unbelievably important. Zena said, yeah, I know, Kai, it's so disturbing for me, and also what I know now, I don't know how I know it. Kai said, I know, right? Deb said, yes, Hev will always be our heaven sent. Oh, God love you. Zena said, I'm disconnected from all but my traumatic memories from prior to that. I only have them since. Susan, how you going? There's this channel called Fittest Flat Earther, and he does a lot of facial comparisons. He claims Katy Perry is John Benet Ramsey. A lot of people say that. Where was I up to? Here. Zena said, not to the point of amnesia, but I just am not connected and have no interest in going back there anymore. Zena said, Susan, yes, the photos bear a striking resemblance. Deb said, I see dead people. Who would have guessed the end of that movie? Kai said, I love the facial overlay comparisons. You all right out there? Chucky? Okay, Lucette said, I've had a few weird experiences in 2012, one out-of-body experience. Zena said, Deb, I think we all do these days. Zena said, a few live ones are still around, thank God. Alex said, we need to have another watch with Hev's Twilight Zone special. Yes, we'll have to do that soon, definitely. Deb said, yes, I'm a hugger. Alex said, hey, Susan. George said, I watch along. Sounds good, Alex. Yep. Alex said, oh, lovely chooks. Deb said, yeah, yes, there are quite a few to catch up on. Yes, there are. Okay, guys, with that, I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm yawning. I'm sorry. I don't know. I hope I'll be back tomorrow. I'm hoping to God I'm all right tomorrow. If I'm like this or better, I will be on. Okay, much love, guys. Have a good one. I'll speak to you as soon as possible. Okay, guys. Bye.